Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Hey guys, Lloyd Greer from Lloyd's Motorworks. And I'm doing Lloyd's Motorworks today because that is my aftermarket company. And I was going to give some discussion on warranty to the best of my knowledge and ability. And I don't have any lawyers in the room to make sure that I'm 100% accurate, but I'm going to give you my best knowledge and ideas of how this whole process goes down. So therefore, right, what is warranty? Well, warranty is typically a term that a manufacturer uses to cover their components, vehicles, motorcycles for X amount of time. If something happens during that vehicle's time period under warranty, then the manufacturer will most likely cover the said failure or part, as long as it is based on their parts, their machine, without any outside influences to cause the failure. So how does warranty start? Well, I guess the warranty starts first, right from the beginning. Someone comes up with a design and they produce the product, and then they have to validate that product. So that product could be a coil horn bracket for a motorcycle, right? Could be an accessory backrest. Everything that is, in this case, on your motorcycle has to go through validation, meaning that it has to be tested under rigorous conditions to make sure that there isn't any failure. So why would said horn bracket have to go through a validation process, right? Well, they run it through their cycles and they might find that the initial design had some flaws and were cracking. So at that point, through the validation process, stop, let's do a redesign or figure out why the coil bracket is failing and breaking, and then make the appropriate adjustments to correct it so that it doesn't do it again. So once that part and all the parts on that motorcycle have been validated, then now they can move into production. And with production, that is saying that we have taken every part and piece on this motorcycle, run it through our validation process, and in our eyes have deemed that that part is good for extended period of time for longevity of the motorcycle. And that if something happens during that warranty period, that we will most likely cover it, right? So now, I guess, here's my gray areas as an aftermarket. So design, produce it, validate it. If it breaks, they fix it, they revalidate it. And if everything's good, then you have said warranty implemented on your vehicle. So this word void and this word denied, as far as I am aware, in the history of Polaris motorcycles, I don't believe they have ever technically voided someone's warranty. Now they have denied warranty claims. It's not the same. So how does it work typically in the big picture? Okay, because I produce aftermarket parts and typically those parts are performance related. My parts have not been validated by the manufacturer to meet their expectations of lifelong usage on their vehicle. And therefore, also an aftermarket part can also impact other things to cause another part or said part to have a failure. In that case, then the manufacturer looks at that in every instance and says, well, it either did or didn't. So, and if we deem that it did, then we're going to deny your warranty. We're not going to void your warranty, because if you void it, that means you don't have anything in existence. So if I have a set of aftermarket exhausts that we put on a motorcycle and something happens to that muffler or the exhaust system as a result of me putting that aftermarket slip-on on, then absolutely the manufacturer shouldn't be responsible for covering the parts breakage, right? However, and that's a denied warranty. However, just because that exhaust system caused something else to fail, maybe it was heavier than the factory system intended it to be, and it caused stress on bracketry, and the brackets broke, and then the exhaust pipe cracked, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, that's not their fault, right? But they don't void your warranty. Void would be saying you don't have any warranty, you don't have any leg to stand on, period, for the entire vehicle. So now if your ride command goes bad and you have a pair of aftermarket slip-ons on, well, most likely they're going to cover the ride command failure as long as it was deemed that it was an issue not related to that exhaust, right? And it gets deeper, of course, and there are a lot of variables involved. But I hear a lot of dealerships out there say, well, you can't do this because it's going to void your warranty. No. You can do anything you want, but also you need to accept the fact that if something happens, you might be denied a warranty claim, not void. Although some dealers, and this goes back mainly, I guess, on Harley days, back in the 90s, 2000s, a lot of Harley dealerships used to say, well, you can't put an aftermarket part on there because it's going to void your warranty. But if we put it on, you're good. Well, if the dealer was going to accept the liability of putting that part on there and making good if something went bad on it, okay. But on the manufacturer's side of things, that's really not how it worked. So certain dealers, certain shops out there, I think are unfamiliar with exactly what the process involves when it comes to warranty. Parts and warranty. I guess the biggest one would be exhaust systems and calibration, right? So on the OEM side, right here is a stage 1 slip-on for Thunderstroke. So stage 1 slip-ons also have a stage 1 calibration that are associated with it. They go together. They go together because they need to go together to work properly together. So when you start changing stuff out, you start putting a set of aftermarket exhausts on it that greatly impacts a change in calibration to the point where your motorcycle can run worse. Granted, I'm going to put an aftermarket exhaust slip-on on it because they claim X amount of horsepower gain. Very rarely does that gain occur unless it also has the proper calibration or tune to accommodate that specific exhaust system. Now, most aftermarket companies that produce exhaust systems don't have calibrations for their exhaust. They just sell exhaust systems. So when it comes to compliancy and also for warranty purposes, an aftermarket exhaust can absolutely have an impact on the way your motorcycle runs, good, bad, or indifferent, and also the way that the manufacturer proceeds if you have any complications as a result of that. To the point where the manufacturer may say, listen, we understand that you're having a problem with your motorcycle stalling or running hot or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We need your dealer to put the stock exhaust system back on there in order for us to validate and verify that what is occurring is a result of the change in combination and not necessarily something that's on the motorcycle producing the result. I hope you followed that one. So in other words, they need to deem that, okay, we have a stock exhaust system back on it with a stock calibration, and we know through our extensive testing that we're going to see this motorcycle perform in an X way. And if it doesn't, then we need to look deeper into trying to solve the problem of why it's running that way. Tunes, probably very controversial and extensively conversed topic out there, right? Does a tune void warranty? No, there we go again. There is no void, there's just denied. If the manufacturer deems that the tune is responsible for causing a problem with your motorcycle, then they can deny the warranty. So in other words, what would be a denied warranty claim? Denied warranty claim would be that we have a tune that puts the motorcycle above parameters from where they were validated and tested. And therefore, if something happens with that motorcycle during that time period, then they have the opportunity to deny the claim. Speed is one of them. Our motorcycles have only been designed and validated to operate at 110, 112 miles an hour, right? Above that, there may have been situations that occurred that they deemed that the motorcycle was not safe, or due to certain circumstances of, being overloaded and a 5-mile-an-hour crosswind caused the bike to be unstable, and therefore we're not going to validate it at that speed. We're going to validate it at the speed that we know the motorcycle can withstand being overloaded, whether it's, 2 people, excessive baggage, 50 pounds of weight in the right side, 20 pounds on the left side, and we have instability issues at 120. Well, we're going to back it down till we make sure that we don't have those instability issues, and that speed might have been 112, right? Anything over and above that, we can't back, we can't validate, we can't stand behind, right? Now, here's the other part. As a customer, as a motorhead, as a high-performance junkie, there also needs to be a certain amount of accountability on your part that understands that you may want to do 135 miles an hour racing your buddy. Now, if something happens at the course of that 135-mile-an-hour run because you're on Route 10, Interstate 10, and you're doing it for 10 miles straight, if something happens to your motorcycle, well, the OEM can look at the data on your ECM and say, well, this motorcycle performed out of its zone of validation, and therefore we can't honor the warranty of X part or parts, and therefore we're going to deny it. We're not going to void your warranty. Your warranty is still implemented. We're just going to deny this particular warranty claim. So for dealers to go, or any other customer to say, well, you can't do X because it's going to void your warranty, is a total false statement. It's all about the manufacturer validating the fact that what occurred is within the parameters of what they tested. And if it's not, they're not liable.